Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading for the last half of August. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, and you do have your birth chart done, which house is Virgo in? That could give you further clarity as to where this information is most prominent for you. We're going to start the reading with the underlying energy for the deck. This part of the reading is your internal forces. The first six signs in the first six houses in the zodiac are about internal forces, and then we'll work on the external forces after that. So we have the Queen of Wands energy is talking about having and she's sitting on her throne and she's got this big sunflower in her hand. And this is talking about being happy. The sunflowers, they follow the sun, and the sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's representing God's energy. So she's on her destined path, and she is has this veil behind her, and it's a thin veil representing the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm, and also being able to use your intuition as well as your logic. She is known to be able to come up with a creative solution for anything because she does combine her intuition and her logic to come up with solutions. And her element is the element of fire. This is represented by a wooden wand, and the wand fuels the wood, allowing for passionate action. So the fire signs are all about action. And she does have, there goes my little cat. She's my sound effect person. You have really good timing, Stella. And so this is a little black cat here. She isn't worried about having a black cat. A lot of people feel like, oh, they're going to bring you bad luck. She could care less. She doesn't believe in bad luck. So she's, just very happy-go-lucky and they're considered to be a natural beauty and just someone that's fun to be around. And then we have the Chariot energy. The Chariot is representing, again, being on your destined path, and it's talking about on the spiritual realm, this is already happening. So when you get on the Chariot, it's talking about now you're on when you're on the Chariot, it's like a tank. Tung, 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 tung. It's just going to shift over. Get out of my way. I'm on my path. It's about being able to overcome obstacles. And this is, you notice that in the background, we see a city that she's leaving behind. So this can talk about having to leave your comfort zone to stay on your destined path. And you notice here the two sphinxes, they don't have any reins at all. When you're on the Chariot, you don't have to steer it. It's already knowing exactly where it's going to go. And so this is your internal forces. Now your internal forces, as I said, the first six signs in the zodiac, the houses are about more inside internal forces, and you can tell that that's what they are because the question you're asking usually is what if I do that and they do this, or what if they do that and I have to do this. So the King of Cups is talking about, this is your energy, the energy that you feel like you're in. The King of Cups is the most he's the most emotionally available of all the kings and the most steady, like when it comes to matters of love. When he offers a cup of love, it's usually a valid offer. And he is more traditional, so this would tend to be like an offer of marriage, or taking a relationship up to the next level. He has his right foot forward, and this in body language is saying that he's ready to move forward and deliver this cup. But you notice he's out in the middle of all this water, and it's pretty rough out there. And this is representing in tarot, the rough water is your volatile emotions. So if this is your energy, it can be talking about a lot of chaos around you. But look, he's in the eye of the storm. He's chill. Like he's learned how to really rein in his emotions, and he has a really good grip on them, and that allows him to be very stable. And this energy, the energy we're in right now, we're kind of caught in between two eclipses, and that energy can feel kind of, if you've been feeling like, whoa, it's so heavy, like it's like it's like going through syrup, you know, and it's like it just feels like sometimes like the days are like so heavy. And it's because we're in this in between stage of the two eclipses. We had one on August 12th, and that was in the moon. The moon was in the sign of Leo, and it's a new moon, and there was a total solar eclipse. So that's when like the sun disappears for a short time. And then we have on the 28th, we're going to have a moon, the full moon in Pisces, which is pretty energy, much like this, pretty watery and emotional. So we're sort of in between those two eclipse seasons. That's going to be a total lunar eclipse. So there's a lot of energy right now that's pretty emotional and kind of running deep. It's that type of energy. Eclipses are like that. They tend to bring significant changes into our life. And it also, but it's kind of over a period of time. So we don't, maybe it's not like a sudden change usually. It's more like an integrated change. But when we look back like 6 months from now, we might be like, wow, you might be shocked at how much you actually did get done and how much maybe your life has changed. And most of the readings have been a little bit heavy on some levels, but there's also so much promise in them. And so that's, it's really, I really am enjoying these readings this cycle. They're way more optimistic than the last cycle. So we have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is talking about having sowed seeds, and now the harvest is here. And this person is, sharing through charity with this person, but you notice he has the scales of justice above this person's head. And that's because, like, if you look more closely, he has something in his pocket here. So this is a grifter, and he wants to use this guy's money because he doesn't want to risk his own. So sometimes this can talk about breadcrumbing energy. This is in your abundance. This is, a loss of some sort of funds. Like the scales of justice are above this person's head. And this is talking about the give and take in life and learning how to, how much time, money, energy you want to invest in any particular project or business or, person. It could be relationships as well. And that's, as I said, in your abundance. And then we have the Magician. And so the Magician is talking about an energetic upgrade coming your way. And this is talking about as above, so below, maybe you have a brilliant idea. It feels like something's going on that's exciting, and that you want to bring that down to earth, as above, so below. And this is 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And he's pointing down to the earth, and this is saying that you have the ability to create a beautiful garden here on earth. You have all the tools that you need. All you have to do is learn how to use them and then become efficient by using the right tool for the right job. So bottom line is, this is like some real amazing energy coming in for manifesting what you want. And this is in your early childhood communication. So this could actually be something that you've always wanted. Like it's that kind of energy, like when I grow up. Some of us grow up later than others. So this is talking about when I grow up, this is what I'm going to be. And I feel like that's kind of energy that you're in. This energy is coming in. Now, there could have been some sort of heartbreak, because we definitely do have two cards here saying that. So the Three of Swords is representing the element of air. Swords are representing your thoughts, basically. And the swords are your mental intelligence and your discipline of the mind. This, when you look at this, I mean, of course, it's very upsetting. There's three swords in this person's heart. But when you look again, you realize, wait a minute, that heart is really big in context to the swords. So maybe this is something that someone could recover from. And that's what this is saying. Your heart maybe needs healing. There maybe is some forgiveness that needs to be given or taken. And the heart is in the throat. So this can sometimes talk about someone who's afraid to speak their truth. And then it also can talk about lies and It can talk about gossip and slander and that type of energy. In matters of romantic love, it can represent a third-party energy dividing a couple, and this can sometimes even represent perjury in court. So a potentially heartbreaking decision needs to be made here, and this is in your emotional state right now. So see how the discernment that the king has, he understands emotions very well. And if this is your energy and you're wanting to offer this cup, you know that you have to wait, because maybe like the other character, it could be the Queen of Wands here that the King of Cups is interested in. And if that energy, if she's still in a chaotic energy, then it's unlikely that she's going to accept that cup. And then we have, disappointment in love. So definitely this could be you being disappointed in love, or this other energy. And remember, I feel like this is one of the main figures, because this is the underlying energy for the reading. And so this person's sitting under this tree, and they're clearly very disappointed. And, these 3 cups in romantic love could represent a couple and a third-party energy and being here. And this cup sometimes can even represent that there was a baby conceived out of that tryst. And now this energy, it's kind of like, there's that, this is a beautiful gift, but it would be very disappointing if it was your partner having a baby with someone else. So there's sometimes this energy comes in that there could be some sort of energy around that. And then there's also, this sometimes could mean that you've given someone 3 chances and they're asking for a 4th chance. Now, this could be a romantic partner, but it also could be someone, a business partner or a friend or a family member, and sometimes this is also talking about something that you love to do or something you love to be. And maybe you've, done your best to launch a business and it hasn't taken, or you've had 3 different relationships and they failed, or you're angry with 3 people in your family or something like that. It could be whatever that is. And so this is talking about, you could sit under this tree for the rest of your life and say, no more love for me. But he's pretty young looking, so it would be a shame. So eventually it's a good idea to get out from underneath that tree and move forward, and it's talking about doing this healing work. But it is really good to sit for a while after, and then there's some energy of Pentacles coming in. And one thing that I've really noticed, like if that energy comes in after like a disappointing romantic, and then all of a sudden there's news of Pentacles, it quite often can talk about, like, if you're in this position and you're heartbroken anyway and you're not ready for love, you may as well focus on something you love to do or something you love to be. And so you could do, this could be, this Pentacle energy is talking about the 3D world and manifesting a lifestyle that you really want to live. The pages would be coming in very young, and we have this energetic upgrade energy in communication when you were younger. And I feel there's some sort of energy here. I was picking that up there as well, that it's an energy that you would really love to, something you've always wanted to do as a child. And there's maybe an opportunity coming up for you. What better time than when you don't want to be, instead of focusing all your time and money and energy on someone in your love life that is, not treating you the way you want to be treated, you may as well pour that energy into the Pentacle energy, and you'd be surprised how driven that can be, and it's a good way to heal as well, because you're doing something that, tackling something that you really have always wanted to do is just the answer for this kind of energy. And so the pages, they would work very young for the king and the queen. They would, be like 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were. And by the time they were 21, they would be maybe considered for knighthood if they were doing well. This would be a super big coup for them, because like he's dressed to the nines here and he's becoming educated in the ways of the elite. This could have happened to you when you were around that age. So someone under 21, when you were going to elementary school, high school, maybe you were just starting college, university, you know, just stepping into the workforce, maybe apprenticing. For a lot of trades, that's how they do it. So this energy can really be talking about that time frame, that there's some, you know, that you had an idea maybe, and you want to bring it down now, like you're ready. And it also could be saying maybe that this information might be coming from someone, or you know, or it could be about someone that you knew back then, during that time frame, and somehow they re-enter your life and add this spark again, you know. And it also can be talking about, when the pages come in, it's communication and information coming in, but it's talking about, you know, especially with the pentacle, it's talking about maybe having an interview, you know, for a job that you always wanted, or a career that you've always wanted, and or it could be talking about, you know, getting the okay from the bank for a loan to start a business. That's that sort of energy, something that you're excited to start out and you have a lot of passion for. This is really good energy. I like it. I mean, there is heartache here, but heartache is part of life. You know, when we have the, you know, when we're younger, we don't always make the strongest decisions. You may have noticed that. We don't make them when we're older either sometimes, but whatever. This is about learning from it as best you can. All right, so for the external forces, let's see what the underlying energy is. All right, done walking away from this relationship. So definitely I would say that you've been through some sort of something here. I do feel that this is an offer coming in though, maybe, but he's waiting because he knows, like, oh, I don't think they're in the mood for love right now. You know, or it could be bringing in a cup of love, of something you love to do or be, and this is someone who loves to do what you love to do, and you start off like that, and then before you know it, maybe you become a thing, you know. It could be different for lots of people. This energy here, though, quite often is, if it's romantic love, it's talking about this type of energy. Look, we have 5 cups here, and they're so perfectly lined up, and then we have 2 and a gap in the middle and a third one, and this can talk about a couple that is split apart basically by this gap here, is representing this third party energy, and someone walked away. So you may have walked away because your partner did this, or they may have walked away with someone else, you know, with the third party energy. So it just depends, especially if there maybe was a pregnancy involved. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but it just feels like there could be that kind of energy. In any case, and look, we have the full moon and the new moon energy here. So again, it's talking about those 2 moons. You know, we had that full one, or that new moon already, and now the full one. And so just keep in mind, this can be pretty emotional energy, and eclipses, that energy, when you're in between those two, it can feel really like sluggish and heavy, and kind of like, you may find that you're a little bit cranky, or like, as I said, a little bit more emotional, feeling your emotions a lot more. And then we have the Empress energy coming in. So this is talking about, the Empress is highly manifesting. And so she's in the position of partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So this, if you're this King of Cups, you might have your eye on an Empress. And sometimes if there's a Queen out with the Empress energy, it can talk about someone who has gone through so much that, you know, and they've stayed on the up and up, and they've done their best to manifest, and they've done a pretty good job, even though this has happened. They, you know, they stay in the game. It's that type of energy. And so the Empress energy, she's from the major arcana, and she represents the qualities of all 4 queens rolled into one person from the minor arcana. And she manifests at a very high rate. The wheat at her feet here is representing that energy. You know, it's saying that if she decides, I'm going to grow a crop, this is what she would do. She would decide, okay, well, what crop am I going to grow? And say she decided on wheat. Then she's going to check which field would the wheat grow in the best, and she's going to check the soil to see if it needs amending. Does it need fertilization? She's going to make sure all the rocks and the stones and anything else that could damage the expensive seeding and harvesting equipment is picked off the field to, avoid, when there's problems out in the field. It can be the harvest season. A lot of times breakdowns can cause a lot of issues. And then we have the energy of she waits now and plants it at the most opportune time. And then after that, she's an organic farmer, so she doesn't spray. So she really waves her wand and says, okay, nature, okay, universe, grow me a bumper crop. And then off she goes to her next, her next project that she wants to work on. She doesn't stress out. She doesn't worry about it. She might come back and do a rain dance or two if needed. But other than that, she knows she put the plans in place to the best of her ability. And it's talking about manifesting in that way at a very high level that way. And so, yikes, there's a bazillion sirens out here. I don't know what's going on out there, Stella. My cat's like, whoa. So this is, and she's in the position of partnerships, commitment, and marriage. And then we have 6 of Swords. So something's pretty alarming here, it sounds like. There we go. So this is talking about being caught in like a mental trap. It's kind of like this energy here, like a heartbreaking decision needs to be made. And going back to this childhood energy, I feel like, there's something around this energy that when you find out what maybe about this and you realize, geez, you just want to like go off and be on your own and just feel cranky for a while and be feeling sorry. It feels like you want to feel sorry for yourself, and who could blame you after this? But it is also talking that you want to heal from this energy. You want to understand what is driving you to choose someone that would do this. And it's an energy of wanting to possibly heal the inner child. And we have, the 6 of Swords, it's kind of like not being able to see the future that well, but just getting on the boat anyway. And you notice there's no baggage here between this child and this adult. And that quite often can be talking about leaving the baggage behind and healing this inner child energy that maybe has you bringing people into your life that are not good for you, when you're a child, if you're treated in, a demeaning way in any way, and it doesn't have to be very much, like children are very sensitive. I mean, their parents are their whole world, right? And so if there's a lot of harsh words spoken and that kind of energy, it's a loud house that way, it could really, affect some children in a real strong manner. And it could kind of make them feel like maybe they're not as worthy as they are. And so this energy is healing that inner child. And you notice the rough water here, again, it's about the conveyor here. He has to use this very long pole to push off really hard into the mud to get this boat moving. But once it starts moving, then the healing starts to happen. The hardest part is deciding to do it. It's challenging. It takes a lot of courage to take a good hard look at yourself and decide, okay, I'm going to improve. And so to do that, there needs to be an ability to look at it. And Virgo energy is very much about analytical critique in that way. This energy, though, you have to be careful, because analytical critique, there's a fine line between analytical critique and anal criticism. So you don't want to be engaging in that. This is more of a forgiveness, for yourself as a child, and, letting go of the energies that are making you feel like maybe not worthy of having what you really want. A really good idea. And then, look at this, because it's been a heavy burden for you. This energy, this is saying, the 10 of Wands is talking about an energy of having like a heavy load to carry. Now, if this is, you know, if you're already in this manifesting like an Empress energy, this could talk about the crop that you seeded, and it's just heavy with fruit, and that would be awesome. This person is way closer to his home than he realizes. If you've heard the saying, can't see the forest for the trees, it's talking about when you're in an energy, like you know, you're so focused on the details that you can't see the big picture anymore. He thinks he's way further away from his goal than he is. And so, you know, this card is saying, do not quit now, keep going. You're way closer to your goal than you think you are, and you deserve this, keep going. And it's also saying that if you're carrying any burdens at this time that are you know, not yours to carry, you need to put those burdens down, and that will lighten the load right away. And also it's saying that maybe you need to look at your situation, like not just about your childhood, but this energy of like, are there things that you could do that would make your life way easier? Like hiring someone maybe to do the tasks that you really don't like to do and you struggle to. You have a big harvest here. Look after yourself and honor yourself a little bit too. Here you worked, you know, to bring this harvest in. Now it's time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And if you keep going, and he'll realize, wow, man, he's 10 minutes from his home here, so it's not anywhere near as bad as he thought. So this transition of healing can really bring you into that. And this is about having more knowledge. And so, of course, when knowledge comes in and you know, then you know, you have an idea of what's going on and you know the truth, of course you're going to be able to make way stronger decisions. And we have the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. This card's been coming in a lot for a lot of people. So, you know, I feel like a lot of people right now just are loaded down like this. And it's kind of like, man, you know, like gas went up and oil went up and food is sky high. And, you know, if you turn on the news, it can be really bleak, like, oh, everything, the housing market's crashing and this is happening and that's happening, and now there's a Senate hearings and there's the files and it's just so much going on. It's kind of wild out there. And so this energy has been coming in for a lot of people, and this is talking about a big improvement in your lifestyle. So maybe, you know, something's going to snap finally. The eclipses can bring in some pretty powerful energy that way. So this is a reward from the divine and the universe collaborating to reward you for being able to stay on your destined path, on your path of glory, and do a really good job. Like if you've manifested up to this Empress energy. Now, this energy here, though, I'm feeling for some, this Empress energy could be your someone that your partner left, because this is in the external forces. I mean, it's talking about, but like if you're the King of Cups energy, this, you know, or you're the King of Wands and you're in this Cup of Love energy, this very definitely could be someone that you see as your Empress. So just take it however that energy works. So this is talking about your career and reputation. That's what I was saying here. Like if your love life, instead of pouring energy into someone that doesn't treat you well, pour your energy into, you know, a project or something, and improve your financial situation and your career. You know, especially if you're doing something that you really love to do, it could be really beneficial. Do you want to come up? What are you doing, kitty? Go away. Go away. Thank you. And then we have, okay, now the Cup of Love. Look at that. We have a Cup of Love coming in, as well as this Pentacle energy. So there's a lot of really, really good energy coming in. There's been a lot of love in the readings. Now, if this isn't romantic love and you're like, I don't want no romantic love, this is the Knight of Cups for sure. So this generally can be, you know, he's that knight in shining armor that comes in with the cup, and he's, you know, it's a solid offer, and he's dressed to the nines, and, you know, he's a class act, and it's a real true offer. So this energy, it wouldn't be like a relationship like this and it wouldn't be taking someone back from the past that was in this kind of energy. This is a blessing coming in for you, and like, you know, this is huge blessings coming in, like being like this, you know, yes, it's a heavy load, but if this is actually the fruits of your labor, and you maybe had to just put a couple ones down, you put them down and like, oh, that load is much lighter now, and bring in the, you know, the other 8 or something. Like it's talking about really, and then having what you need to move into this other energy. And hey, now you're in a good mood. So the cup of love could be coming in as part of that blessing. And this energy here is talking, I feel, about how what you had to overcome here, because this is going back to this energy, and it's talking about, like, this is the secrets coming out. It's kind of like spiritual as well. So you may have felt a lot of the time, like, I remember when this card came out, I was saying that sometimes this can be when someone's heart is in their throat and they don't feel like they can actually speak their truth. They're actually afraid. This could have been maybe some sort of an abusive relationship. I'm kind of picking that up. It might just have been words, but it might have been more than that. And, you know, that could be like abusive, like in many ways, you know, verbally or physically. And it could also be not a lover. It could be friends. It could be family. It could be whatever it is. It could be society, you know, just being really hard on everybody. Like whatever this is, there's an energy of feeling like duty bound. Like she just, like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to deal with this? And sometimes this can be because it's someone that you love. And so, like, you know, the day that you find out that, oh, there's a third party energy and maybe they're having a baby with your husband, that type of energy, that's a harsh truth to accept. And it's not like, oh, well, you just get over that in a minute, you know. There's a lot of stages of grief in that. And so this is sometimes not wanting to see the whole picture, or not even being able to, like, emotionally handle it. And it can also talk about not being able to see a solution, because just like, you know, and yesterday you loved them and you thought they loved you, and all of a sudden you find this out, and you know, it's they've had lots of time to decide that they didn't love you as much as they thought they did before. You're just finding out that day, you know. So it's a little bit traumatic, actually. And I feel at one point there was way more water here. And I feel like the king is noticing, hey, look, she's got her right foot forward now. She's on dry land with her right foot. And he's like, okay, get ready. And this energy is also talking about, she has her left foot in this puddle here, but it's very shallow. So there's not a whole lot of emotion left. And she's managed to put 7 of the 8 thoughts behind her. And I feel she's decided on this, and she just has to keep walking forward. And, you know, cut herself free, take the blindfold off. But you notice she's leaving her castle. So it's behind her, and so it's way in the distance. So this can be talking about really having to literally physically move away, or, you know, move out of a home, or sell. Maybe, you know, if there's a divorce, you have to sell the house and that you love to be in and whatever. And it can also talk about all the gossip and slander going on, and maybe people not that she thought were really close to her, not telling her what was going on when they knew, and maybe it's even one of them. You know, there's a lot of energy here. And so this is talking about, you know, can also represent the thoughts of other people behind her back, and how do you express your thoughts through words, whether that's written or verbal. So yeah, I feel like you're overcoming a lot. And if you feel like you can't, just realize, like, this eclipse energy, it can, and it's really like a roller coaster. It's like one minute you're feeling, oh, it'll all work out, and the next minute you're like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. It's like that type, you know, it's a very roller coaster type energy right now. Okay, so we're going to, if you're leaving the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate you, and your likes, comments, and subscribes. They're helping me build my channel, and I'm very grateful for that. All right, and I'm going to clarify now with my oracle. And this is, oops, Oh yeah, no, I have that. Good. I didn't want to get the cards mixed up upside down. This is talking about, my oracle is Tales from the Vector. We'll get the underlying energy here from the bottom. And so the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. Wow, we get a lot of vertical cards here, so this is good. And I will, this is how they're numbered in my gallery, and I will put them in the order they appear here in the description box below, along with the website, so that you can take a look at the paintings if you want. This is one of them. This is one of the series of 12 that I did for each of the signs. And this is kind of the Virgo energy. It's like, you know, getting that degree. Like, this is like the energy of, you know, you've been in university for a couple years now, and you're kind of past this energy now. And the Virgo energy is very organized, and cleanliness is next to godliness kind of energy. So, you know, the world is your oyster. Like, you've got the degree and you're ready to get out there, and he wants to play games. That's the energy I can feel here. Here he's just playing, you know, video games. But she's like, surely there's something more, like, I want to go out and celebrate. I can just see the energy here. So this is talking about the battle star energy. This is having the courage to, you know, it's not easy if you go through something like this, but you don't want to be sitting under that tree for the rest of your life. So it's talking about moving forward and having the courage to do so. And also we have the Aquarius energy here. And Aquarius is talking, you know, about small experiments and observation of those experiments to see what's working for you now. And that energy could be very beneficial. Aquarius and Virgo energy are very much alike in some ways. This is an earth sign, and this is more of air, but it's kind of like really liking that orderly thinking. You know, the Aquarius energy is maybe a little more out there, airy, but it's still having that analytical nature to it. And but Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and this has been coming up in a lot of the readings, and it will be for a while now, for the next 7.5 to 8 years. Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini about 2.5 months ago now, and that is like, it hasn't been there since World War II in 1941 to 1949, so the aftermath of that. And this is talking about the truth wanting to come out, and it's kind of weird truths coming out in weird ways, and truths that maybe are from way back, and all of a sudden, boom, all of a sudden they're exposed, and everybody's like, what? That was years ago, and now all of a sudden all the information is coming out. And man, are we ever seeing that, you know, online. I just was watching, I think it's Reckless Ben with the Lego saga, and he's coming out with that, you know, if you saw that, it made the, you know, mainstream news, like all this truth coming out over Lego. It was incredible. And like he went on another adventure, so it was kind of fun to watch. But it's talking about like, whoa, these you know, these truths coming out. And so this is happening on individual levels in small ways, and then it's also happening in a bigger sense in the world. And we're going to be in this energy for another 7.5 to 8 years. So it's not surprising that this is coming out. If something like this is happening, this is the kind of shift that comes out. And there is deception here. So I feel like this, I don't feel like it's this king that's that was deceptive, although it could be for some. Like, this could be not your energy, or it could be your energy, and you maybe are the one that walked away, and maybe you had good reason to. We don't know really what's going on. So I don't want to judge it. It's not, you know, it's more about, there was some sort of deception. And if it's not about romantic love, it could have been in a business or something, because there is some energy here around that for sure. Like, for instance, where is it? Well, just even this energy here, but sometimes the Chariot can, Do we, did the Chariot's here. This can sometimes be representing, if the truth's coming out, the law and order. This sometimes represents the police. And we had sirens, when I was laying these cards out around that time. So it can be talking about, and this can be talking about not just a mental prison, but actual physical, or this one's here, sorry, not a mental prison, but an actual physical prison. And, so there can be, and this kind of breadcrumbing energy, some money going missing. There's not a lot of that in this reading, but I'm just saying for some of you, it could be a thing. We have the World card here sitting on your abundance. This is like, it's going to be a brand new world for you. And this energy is really awesome. It's like talking about a real big upgrade here for you. I feel like it's once you get through this, you're going to be like ready for having a lot more fun in your life. And I do feel that if you have focused on your, this happened a while back, and you focused on your career, I feel like it was really beneficial here. There's a lot of really good pentacle and energy, and kind of talking about this happy energy coming in. We have Temperance here. So yeah, it can be really hard. Temperance is talking about being devoted to your path and having the patience, to stay, to keep moving and to go after what you want. I really do feel like you have some sort of idea from your childhood or something that's coming up, and I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for some of you that's coming up. And we have the star energy on this. So, if someone couldn't recognize that you were the star of the show, well, then, but this is talking about staying on your North Star, your North Node, and being on your destined path. And maybe this is something like that you're really, really good at, a talent, a latent talent that you forgot you had, and you come out and all of a sudden you become like a superstar. And this energy is going, that was foolish to leave them. That's the energy I'm picking up. So this is like, yeah, this energy, it's kind of like, why not just end the relationship and then engage in that? But that's not the way real life works a lot of the time when you're a little bit immature as well. And so a lot of times that's just a lot of immaturity. A lot of times people don't realize how demanding it can be to be in a serious commitment, especially if you're raising children and you're getting married and that kind of energy. So this is talking about a lot of ambition here. And I feel like that's this energy here. So if you are having kind of like these, like you're kind of like dreamy right now, and you're feeling like, oh, like journal it, write it down, because I really feel like it could be something that, like, it's, when you read it again, it could just, you might get one of those, aha moments and remember something. Oh yeah, I remember I wanted to do that when I was younger. And then you start looking into it and you're like, this is a really good idea. And that's when you get excited and you're like, yay, and it would keep you busy, and it would also seeing all the possibilities in the challenges. And then we have the energy here. So this is confirming it. You are a superstar. Look at the throat chakra. And so look at that. That's kind of interesting. I wasn't really thinking about that. Maybe like you are a powerful speaker, or you want to run for a political office or something, or you've always wanted to be on stage, or you have a beautiful voice and you go to one of those talent shows, and the next thing you know, you're the next superstar. And walking away, your partner walking away from you was the best thing that happened to you and the worst thing that happened to them. It's that kind of energy. Like you might have like some sort of talent that you haven't explored since you were a child, and all of a sudden you do, and you're like, whoa, I love doing this. Just keep picking that energy up for the Virgo energy here. Earth star, so this is your energy. It's matters of the earth and earthly matters. I just want to point out as well, when I have horoscope signs coming up, I'm not pointing out individuals. So just be aware of that. I'm talking more about the quality of the signs. So, you know, every sign has its strengths and weaknesses, and we can learn from them all. And also, if we ever get our chart done, we have them all in us somewhere. You can really learn a lot about yourself, you know, if you start understanding other people's point of view, the way every sign has their specialty. And why not learn from it? Because, hey, we can use all the help. And look at, that's confirming that Gemini energy, Uranus in Gemini. And Gemini is also ruled by the sign of Mercury, like Virgo. So this is about strong communication and being able to see the creative solutions as well as using your logic. And that's what came up at the beginning here. And we have attachment. So what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. I feel like that you were carrying some burdens from other people. I don't feel like a lot. I feel like most of this load is like the fruits of your labor. Like, I feel this is pretty good harvest coming in. And then we have the ego. So like, keep your ego in check. Yeah, like this can be talking about pride before the fall, but sometimes this is saying that, you know, when in spiritual realms, when people talk about ego, they're more talking about, you know, your ego will say to you, oh, well, who are you to think that you could be a star? Like, you're not special, what, you know, and talk you out of doing things that you really want to do. And maybe that's happened in the past. And now you're in this energy and you're like, because this is career and reputation. And so this could be saying like, yeah, I mean, it's been confirmed here twice. You're in, you know, you're a star that's meant to shine. My cat has the zoomies. And so we have the Tower coming in. Wow, and look at that. It's sitting right on this card here. I wonder if the King of Cups is maybe this energy, if this is your energy that you are going through this divorce energy because there was deception and you're waiting for this to clear out before asking someone else out. The Tower hits when you don't listen to your intuition, but sometimes you could listen to your intuition and the Tower hits anyway because it's not up to you to stop it. It's out there in the external forces. So I feel the Tower is over this kind of energy here, definitely. And as I said, the external forces, you don't have control over whether someone loves you or not, you know, and what they say and do when they're not around you or even when they are. And look at this, we have the all-star here too. You have like definitely a lot of star energy. You're an all-star. You might be a really good athlete as well. But this is talking about, you know, take the blindfold off and do what you need to do, see the deception, get through it so that you can jump into this awesome energy. We have an all-star, superstar, and the North Star. Really good energy. I do hope you've enjoyed this, Virgo. I have. I'm happy that the readings are coming out a lot more positive than they were at the beginning of the month. A little bit heavy energy, and there's like, you know, there's challenges to overcome. But all of them have a lot of energy around love and so far, and energy about overcoming hardships and coming out of it even better than you were before, and really going back to childhood and really wanting to bring that individuality out in ourselves. Really, really passion, you know, like it's yay, finally. Let's have some fun. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for your time and energy. Likes, comments, and subscribes. I really do appreciate you. And I'll be back with that full moon eclipse reading for the 28th. Bye for now.